The mission of the neuromuscular section here at Washington University School of Medicine is really fourfold. One is to provide excellent clinical care to those in the community and even throughout the world for those suffering with neuromuscular conditions, those that are common and those that are rare, and to offer treatments, diagnosis, and hopefully solutions. The second is really to train a future pipeline of excellent academic neuromuscular physicians that will not only be practicing and performing research, but also being leaders in the field in the future. The third would be to create an environment that we can do clinical, basic, and translational research. And then the fourth is, in order to do all of those three first missions, we really need to have a mission to create an environment of collegiality, inclusion, intentionality toward diversity. All of them are interrelated and incredibly important.
I had the benefit of training here as a resident, and so I got some early exposure to some of the faculty here in the division, and I was just impressed by what master clinicians they were, and I knew that I definitely wanted to be like them. They were real role models for me throughout my training, and so I wanted to continue learning more from them.
Neuromuscular training that fellows get in our program is the most extensive training of any program in the world. We provide over 100 teaching hours, that's 2 hours a week plus of training in nerve and muscle pathology. We cover over 70 different topics each year.
St. Louis is centered in an urban environment, but the catchment area of these hospitals really includes most of the Midwest. And so the patient populations we see are rather diverse. And so that allows our fellows to become comfortable not only taking care of bread and butter neuromuscular cases, but also some of the rarer neuromuscular disorders that we encounter.
There are 15 faculty members in neuromuscular, 6 with basic science labs, 2 running a diagnostic lab, and nearly all of us involved in clinical research. Our research runs from the nerves of the motor neurons of the spinal cord to peripheral nerve, neuromuscular junction, really the whole gamut of neuromuscular work here.
Fellows get a great exposure to pediatric neuromuscular care here. We have a weekly clinic staffed by myself and 3 other providers, that includes physical therapists. It's a MDA-sponsored clinic. We see a variety of pediatric neuromuscular disease. We also have a multidisciplinary clinic. In that experience, you get a chance to see Duchenne muscular dystrophy and other related care needs.
We have a fairly active and robust inpatient presence with our neuromuscular consultation service. But what this really provides for the trainees that's very unique is seeing patients when they present with acute disorders that oftentimes are missed. What I've been told by a lot of our trainees is that they're seeing things that they didn't even get to see at all during their training. And so having that presence and seeing the full evolution and course of patients suffering from these conditions, I think is invaluable.
You'll see everything from a typical diabetic neuropathy to carpal tunnel. Seeing those conditions in multiple different settings really helps you learn a lot about the underlying diseases that you're seeing on a day-to-day basis and how to manage them. And I think having that exposure has equipped me very well to handle the challenges of independent practice.
I'm a child neurologist by training, and within the fellowship, there's really a lot of opportunity to customize your training. And there's sufficient volume and breadth of pathology here in pediatric neuromuscular to really get the clinical training that I needed in peds neuromuscle within the fellowship year.
I think one of my favorite things about the education here has been the EMG crash course. Dr. Allozy goes into really good detail of the theory behind the EMG, and I like to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, and it seems like his teaching really aligns with that. And so not only do I have a better understanding about how to technically do an EMG, I also now understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, and that really helps solidify that learning.
In the electrodiagnostic lab, we do more than 3,000 cases a year, and we do more than 500 cases of ultrasound each year. With the presence of the dedicated faculty that pride themselves in educating the neuromuscular fellows, the neuromuscular fellows have great opportunities of learning all the different parts of the electrodiagnostic medicine, including the nerve conduction studies, repetitive nerve stimulation, EMG, single fiber EMG, autonomic studies, as well as ultrasound.
What I didn't anticipate that would happen is that I would develop relationships with these people so quickly. I think that has a lot to do with how generous people are with their time and their experience and their knowledge and their enthusiasm to, pass that on to the next generation of neuromuscular physicians.